everybody. This is Jeff with Next Global News, and today we're going to take a look at the Spratly Islands and the military buildup of China in the South China Sea. Some would say, well, what's the big deal? It's the South China Sea. Why can't they build a military base there? Well, it's actually not part of China. It's actually part of Vietnam, Philippines, and or Malaysia, where they're building these bases, and they don't have exactly the permission to do so, but they're ignoring that, and the United States doesn't really have a counter to that. So you can see right here what you need to know about the South China Sea, the world's next hotspot. So you could see bordered by China, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, and other nations, the area includes the busiest sea lanes in the world, and about a third of the world's shipping passes through every year, and cargo around 3 trillion, which with evidence pointing to huge oil and gas reserves. All of the surrounding countries want a piece of the pie. Recently, however, the game has changed in the South China Sea, and the reason is China flexing its muscles. So what exactly is it doing? So here's China, right? And down here, if you go, here's the parcel islands. So they've obviously got this area really close, but you can see these like islands that are set up. They're pretty small, but they could be building bases there, but if you go on to Google Maps, you won't see it. It's when you go down to this area called the Spratly Islands off the coast of the Philippines and Indonesia that you start seeing some things that are just popping up out of the ocean. I don't know if these are man-made, but they kind of look like they're man-made atolls, or they could be, normal. They kind of look like the islands you would see in Bora Bora, right? But if you zoom in on some of these, you'll start to see that there's military presence being developed around here. And let's go ahead and zoom in on some of these Spratly Islands so you can see what it is that's going on here that's got Washington's attention. So let's go ahead and go through here. So you can zoom in on some of these. You see stuff like this. What's going on here, right? They've got these little like small U-boats, military vessels. Nothing really too spectacular there. It looks like they're maybe under construction. What are these cargo ships they're building? Maybe that's industrial, maybe that's not military, but you can see, like, what is this? It's like a solar generator. So they've got some high-tech stuff going on out here. And that's just one little area, right? And then what's this? Like, what is going on here? It was obviously too bright when the satellite took the picture. But who's living out here, right? And then let's keep going around and see if we can find some air bases. So they've got some military air bases out here, and that's also getting people's attention. So let's see here. Here we go. We've got an air base right here. Look at this. So that one's kind of close to Vietnam, right? And you wouldn't be able to see it unless you zoomed way in. You've got airfield, a track, some industrial areas, looks like some residential areas. Wow, you can get real close in on that. And then they've got this port here. It looks like an industrial port. Not seeing any necessarily military vessels in here, but for the most part it's just looking like boats or vessels that are bringing in rock to continue to build this man-made island. It's like maybe that's what they're doing here. So they're definitely developing a airfield here. You can see that, and then if you zoom out again, let's see what else is around here. What is this? Looks like crops. They got a big lighthouse there. Looks like they grow stuff here. And then if you come down here, getting closer to the Philippines, doesn't look like they have anything down there. But here's another airfield. Looks like under construction, or they got a pool right there. It looks like these are almost man-made. Here's a big old one. Look at this. Big airfield. What's going on over here? Big old light tower. That's a big one. And then you can see they've got a lot of ships in here. So back to the story, you know, they're saying, Senator, Chinese buildup in South China Sea looks like China preparing for World War III. And then they're saying, I'm concerned our message is not getting across, said Inhofe, who took over the committee this month. The days of indisputable American military dominance in the Pacific following the defeat of Japan in 1945 and the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 has ended, he warned. There's a euphoric attitude people have had since World War II that somehow we have the best everything, Inhofe said. So people in the United States just assuming that we're superior in all sorts of different ways while turning a blind eye to the rise of China, literally the dragon growing out of the ocean. You know, the Chinese dragon is growing, it's coming, and it's getting more powerful by the year, really. And you can see Beijing supports the Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro. So it's like the United States wants Maduro out, China wants Maduro to stay. And so there's a lot of, so China's global influence is expanding across the world here. And then you can see that China defends military buildup in disputed South China Sea. Beijing defended its construction of what is called defensive facilities in the disputed South China Sea on Tuesday, saying the moves were not directed at any specific country, according to Defense Ministry spokesman. China's garrison on the islands and reefs of the Nansha Islands and the deployment of necessary defense facilities are the natural rights of sovereign states. So, China's saying they have the right to defend themselves. He was answering a question about whether China's military deployments were a response to missions by the U.S. Navy to challenge Beijing's claim that virtually the entire South China Sea, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Brunei are all overlapping claims in the strategic waterway. Tuesday's remarks came on the heels of the report in the Wall Street Journal on Monday, citing a Pentagon official who said that China has deployed military jamming equipment to the Spratly Island outpost. That is the area that we were just exploring. So you can see it. If you zoom in around here, you can see these military facilities which kind of blend into the water. You got to look real closely to see if you can find anything, and bingo, you got stuff, right? So I mean, it's hard to tell what they got on here, but you can see it looks like some of it's under construction. They have industrial infrastructure on here, and who knows what else. But I mean, this looks like some apartment residential facilities under construction. This, who knows, nice airfield. I mean, so you can see right here. Anyways, guys, this is Jeff with Next Global News. Taking a look at the Spratly Islands in the South China Sea to see exactly what China is up to. Trying to go under the radar here and build out some stuff as they continue to expand their global influence across the world.